Hi. Today I'd like to take a couple of minutes and talk about my experiences with the new Windows operating system, Windows 8. Now, I've used every version of Windows there is out there with the exception of Vista. I didn't really use Vista at all, so I don't have any experience with that one. With every version of Windows that I've used, there's always been this breaking in period, this kind of a learning curve where, it took me a little while to figure out how things worked, but I more or less was able to walk through it and figure it out and, poke around and figure out how it worked. Now, I just recently bought a new computer, so it has Windows 8 on it. And, it's been hyped up a lot. My problem with it is right from the beginning, I realized that, okay, this system is not user-friendly. It's not obvious how things work. I found out right away I wasn't able to figure out how to properly shut down my new computer. It's not obvious. And you have to go through some things, and you actually have to, you have to know where these things are in order to use them. So, and I was able to figure out that. I got my way through it. The other problem is it has this start window, and it has all of these tiles. And that's the thing that they were talking about on the commercial, about how that you have these tiles and they make everything easy for you. It's not. Those tiles are not there to make your life easier at all. They're there to assemble data. And it's not for you. They have things like, Bing, and they have this thing for sports scores and this and that and the other thing. And it's all spam. And the whole point of it is to mine data, and all of those little tiles will take up computing resources, and it takes away your battery time. And I found that out pretty quickly. And they have things like they have an app on the start page for both Hulu and Netflix. Now, I subscribe to both of those, but the point is, I found out that I can access those sites much easier, much more trouble-free through my browser. So, these apps were, seriously, they were just sitting there. They were taking away resources, and they were taking up battery time. So I spent like the first weekend of owning my new laptop going through deleting apps, deleting windows or panels or whatever they're called. So to which I trimmed everything down to like the bare minimum. So I got rid of that. So much spam, so many spam programs, and I had to go through those. And the thing is, it's not Windows. It's not Windows. It's not user friendly. So for the first time since I've used a Windows-based computer, I actually had to find an outside source. Get some information. I had to find professional help. So, of course, what do you do when you can't figure out how to do something? You go straight to YouTube, and that's where you get tutorials for everything. My problem was that if my cursor lingered too long on one of these tiles, it would go into the app, and then I would have no idea how to get out. So I was trapped in these apps. The only way that I could figure out to get out of them would be to restart my computer, and that was just a tremendous annoyance. So, I went to YouTube, and I found some helpful tutorials, and I figured out how to do that, where, if you get stuck in one of these apps, what you have to do is you have to put your cursor at the top center of the screen, click on it, and then drag it down. See, that's the thing that I discovered through the tutorials, is that Windows 8 is set up for a touch screen. So if you don't have a touch screen, you can use it, but it's going to be a tremendous annoyance. And where I'm at right now is I'm thinking about having my laptop downgraded and go back to Windows 7, which was a better experience for me. I'm a little hesitant to do that. For one thing, it's going to be an expense that I would rather not incur, because I'm going to have to buy, might have to buy a copy of Windows 7, because up until now I always just used whatever operating system came with the machine that I bought. So I'm going to have to buy a copy of Windows 7, and because I'm not tech savvy, I'm not a do-it-yourselfer, I'm going to have to hire somebody to downgrade, and it's just a big pain. And the other reason I don't want to do it is because I really don't want to admit that this operating system has gotten the better of me. But, you know, the fact that it's designed for a touch screen kind of says to me that this system is not appropriate for anything I'm going to be doing. So it's probably not a bad thing to downgrade. It's just, you know, I'm just kind of toying with that right now. So my assessment of Windows 8 is that it is completely inappropriate for two reasons. One, the spyware, the spam, the panels that do nothing but gather data for an outside source. They're not there to help you. They're there to help the companies that are paying Windows. I find that completely unacceptable, and I find that a complete betrayal of Windows, of their customers, which should be us. They should be taking care of us. They shouldn't be taking care of these outside companies. So I find that unacceptable, and the fact that this operating system is so specific for a certain type of computer also makes it unacceptable. If it had a touch screen, it would be fine, but I don't. So it's not appropriate for me. So in the end, I'm probably going to be downgrading to Windows 7, which I'm not really happy about that, but it's probably the best way for me to go. I would be interested in hearing other people's experiences with Windows 8 to see if you know, if I'm the only one, if I'm just the cranky old man that really doesn't care for change, or if it's correct that, you know, other people find that these tiles are an unacceptable intrusion into your experience. So if you feel like that, you know, let me know. Otherwise, you know, if anybody would be interested in doing some pro bono computer work for me, I'm open for that. So give me a holler about that too. Hope you're having a good day. I sure am, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.